Good morning. Today is the 22nd of July 2026 and I'm Graham and this is Sacred Agriculture. This morning I just want to speak to you about compost, just a few points that one must bear in mind when making compost. A lot cheaper making your own compost than buying compost. Initially when we started our market garden here in Noordhoek, Cape Town, we were purchasing all our compost, but now we make our own, and it's far superior to the stuff that you can buy. And when the resources are freely available, the biomass that I'm talking about, it's just a labor component you have to pay for, and it's still viable, very much viable, and we do everything manually. So I'm going to just show you what we have here in the background. Bear with me. Right, you can see on my right hand side, here's a pile that's maturing. It's probably got 3 weeks to go. And then on the left hand side here, we've got another pile that's got probably got a month to go. And then in the background there, you'll see a low pile. We're busy making this compost. On the right hand side is the raw horse manure, and in the bags on the right hand side here we have straw and a little bit of wood chip, of course untreated wood chip. And we'll go back, and in the background there you will see another pile that's probably only got a week to go before it's ready for use. You have to make sure, one has to make sure that the compost is black before you use it. It has to be well degraded, well composted before you use it, otherwise it locks up the nitrogen in the soil. And we use our compost as a form of mulch. We always add it to the top of the soil, and we never incorporate it into the soil. We never dig our soil over, as we have no bed or no cultivation system in place. A couple of other points you really need to know is the compost makers always talk about the carbon nitrogen ratio, and in fruit trees, fruit production, you can have a carbon to nitrogen ratio of 20 to 1 or 22 to 1, 22 carbon to 1 nitrogen, and it becomes a fungal dominated compost, lots of mycelium, which the fruit trees need to extend their foraging of nutrients. The mycelium latches onto the root hairs and extend much further than the rhizosphere and can gather a lot more nutrients for the trees. But we are in market gardening, vegetable production, organic of course, and we have a high nitrogen requirement because they're quite demanding, the vegetables. So our ratio is 50-50, 1 to 1 or 2 to 1, not more than 2 to 1, 2 to 1 carbon and nitrogen. So what do we use for our nitrogen? Well, everything that is, all manures is considered nitrogen. Horse manure, cow manure, sheep manure, chicken manure, and green matter. When you're terminating green beds, lettuce or whatever it is, all green vegetables, everything that's green is very high in nitrogen. So what we do is we make layers, and if we are using green matter, we do a thin layer of green matter followed by straw, followed by green matter, followed by manure, etc. And we try and turn it as frequently as possible. We turn our compost on a weekly basis, but we have many piles right here where I'm talking. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 piles, and on the other side of the farm we've got 5 or 6 piles. So we can't get through them all in every week, but every second week roughly we're getting through them all. And the other thing I really need to mention is what is considered carbon. Carbon is straw, all brown matter, brown leaves, straw, cardboard, paper. Anything that's like that is considered carbon, and basically all the brown leaves and brown straw comes from carbohydrates, which is sugars, and it's manufactured through photosynthesis, and the carbon is captured from the atmosphere and turned into carbohydrates, which is carbon-based. All life is carbon-based. And yeah, so the microbes, it's an aerobic system, and so please don't cover your compost piles with plastic or tarps, because it needs the oxygen. It's aerobic. All the bacteria and the microbes live off oxygen, and that's why we turn them frequently on a weekly basis or so, as to incorporate humidity, water, as well as oxygen, air. So just one note about watering. When you are turning your compost, it's a perfect time to introduce water, but just make sure the compost is damp but not wet. If you are overwatering your compost piles, it drives the oxygen out, and it's not great for the microbes to breed. So if you take a handful of compost and you squeeze it, it mustn't drip. It must just be damp. And because the microbes live in thin films of water, and of course they're microscopic. Yeah, and we make our compost. It takes us about 2 months or 2.5 months to make a mature pile of black rich compost, and we just keep adding it to the top, as I've said before. I hope that's shed some light onto the subject. Until next time, thank you.